What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. My voice has gone.
Yeah, both our voices.
Both our voices gone. It finished Tottenham 3, Bodo 1. Disappointing to concede, but on balance and on before the game, I think we'd have taken that at the start, Iggy.
Yeah, look, a lot of the. We had a chat here before we went on. So a lot of the score prediction were 3-1. And look, the disappointment is not. Obviously it happened quite late in the game, so it left a bitter taste in the mouth. For that very reason, obviously we were 3-0 up at that point, so we just if we cannot get the fourth, then at that point you have to make sure you don't concede, and that's why it left a bitter taste in the mouth. But overall, Spurs dominated the game. We thoroughly deserved the win. It's a good win. We take a good result to Norway, and the job is half done. 50% of it is done. Now we need to go over there and kill the tie off. And I feel like if we get a goal over there, we will.
Yeah, look, 100%. And I think, look, for me, what a start. The atmosphere was electric. The Spurs fans played their part. And, 37 seconds in, the ball comes across. Richarlison heads it back. And Brennan Johnson's there to put it in the back of the net. And that's exactly what we needed. I just feel, though, that we, after that first goal, and then the passages of play from the first to the second and the second to the third, kind of nothing really happened. We didn't really, we kind of sat back and then allowed Bodo to kind of get more involved in the game. And then it was, that's this, then there's this, then this happened. And then obviously the penalty happened. And I just feel that, and I hope we don't live to regret not fully going for it, because I don't think we fully went for it, if that makes sense.
We listen. The Bodo's instructions were very clear: to stay compact, stay get behind the ball. They knew they would have large periods of the game where they would have to defend to try and contain us. We started, like you said, we got off the blocks quite quickly, scored early on, and then we kind of like the intensity wasn't quite to the level required, and Bodo just tried to stay in the game as long as possible, especially with large periods of that first half. They came alive right at the end before the half, where they had one attempt, went over the bar, where we kind of fell asleep defensively. We hadn't had to defend a lot of that time. We hadn't seen Vicario at all having to do absolutely anything that first half. But they gave us the warning that if they would try and make, even if timid attempts to try and get that goal back. Second half, we know we kind of went at it again. Yeah, it was slow, but we got the goals when needed at key points. We even got a penalty in that 60th minute, and I felt that we would go on to get 4 and 5. And I feel like with Maddison's substitution due to injury first, then followed straight after by Solanke, it killed our momentum. Also because of the fact that the substitutes that came on didn't quite have the desired impact that the players that were on to begin with had. Tell, very disappointing second half. He played the whole second half. Didn't really see much of him. Odobert, not much of him. And also the last one, Kulusevski, right at the end, had an opportunity to get. It didn't quite go to plan in terms of the impact of the substitutions. But yeah, you're right. And it was a hot night here in North London, as we were sweating in here now. So it was a hot night, and it was hard to play, 100 miles an hour football the whole game. But we did what we had to do. Fundamentally, the job we had to do tonight was to win, take a good lead to Norway. I feel like even with disappointingly conceding a goal right at the end, we still got enough there to take on with us, and I'm glad that in a way that we do have, we still have to fight more into that second.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go in having to do, contain, play a game of contain. No, we go there knowing that we have to finish off the job. A good lead, but that's all it is. It's a good lead, nothing more.
Yeah, look, and I think the one thing I want to just touch on is Christian Romero.
Yeah.
I don't really understand. We're 3-0 up. He just completely loses his mind and completely takes out one of the Bodo players, gets himself a booking, and I just don't understand it. I don't know. Do you see that Romero for Argentina, or is it just that Romero at Spurs? Where he's just, I don't know.
I just think he's an absolute. He has these moments where he's a bit of a loose cannon. I think he's always shown that side to him. I don't think that will ever leave him. He's shown that for Argentina. He's shown it before the team where he was before joining us at Atalanta, and I just think it's part of who he is and his makeup. Did he need to do that? Absolutely not. It was obstruction of the ball. He just wanted to block the player from making it through. Got himself a yellow card. And then he had to really stay careful for the rest of the game, not to make sure that he doesn't get himself suspended. Is it necessary? No, but it's just who Romero is. It's just it has.
Who we are, mate.
It's just in him. He's, to be fair, he has been better with it this season in that. But it's just got it in him.
Yeah, look. I think it was a good night. 3-1 result. Like you said, I'm glad it wasn't 4 or 5 because then I'd be singing. 4, no one wanted that. 4 because I think, like you said, just being contained and everything else. But a lot of people are saying that this is, the tie is in the balance now. 3-1. Do you think it's in the balance?
I don't think it's in. The tie's not over. I think 3-1 is a good lead. I do think it favours Spurs more than it does Bodo. I don't think a tie and a balance would be if it was 2-2 and a draw. But it's a 3-1 win. We're taking advantage with us. It's 60-40 in our favour. That's how I see it. It's a 60-40, 65% to 35-40 in our favour. So I'll take that. Given the results that we've had recently, including the drumming that we got at Anfield over the weekend. Listen, the perfect score would have been 3-0, but it's 3-1. We go with it. The job wasn't done at 3-0, by the way, just so to be clear.
Yeah.
The job was not done at 3-0, and it's not done now. It's at 3-1. We have to take what we have and go and finish the job over there, knowing that we have to go over there with a straight back on an AstroTurf in a cold or whatever it is. It's a semi-final. It's a semi-final of a European competition.
Well, it's going to be. It's definitely not going to be like it is today. I've just looked at the weather for next Thursday. It's going to be light rain and a gentle breeze with a high of 8 degrees.
That's fine. That's it. Proper English weather. It's not snowing, so no excuses.
So what do you think? What do you think we need to do now? We've got a week before the second leg.
Yeah.
Playing on an artificial pitch. Do we get inside the dome and just train inside the dome with the cold? Throw some hoses round. Do you think that helps us, or do you think that hinders us?
I think the first thing we need to do is recover well after tonight's match. Find out the extent of the injuries as quickly as we can of what Solanke has and what Maddison has. I think those two players are, for now at least, because the lack of alternatives that we have in Richarlison and Kulusevski's not, you can see he's not quite physically with it. He's not up to scratch. So it's important that we recover those players for that second leg. After that, you can perhaps go and play in the dome, whatever it is. I just think that we need to go with a plan, knowing fully well that we have to defend well first and foremost, not switch off, and take the opportunities when they come to us. Tonight we had ample opportunities to kill off the games. We didn't do that. We had about 5-6 opportunities, real good opportunities, but not opportunities on goal, opportunities to score goals. For example, we get past the player, then the ball, the setup wouldn't be right. You had a couple of situations from the corners where the ball ended up to Bissouma. The strike wasn't good enough. Kulusevski's strike at the end, not quite there. We had opportunities to do better with the chances that we had, taking shots when we should be perhaps looking for an assist. With a rare bodies blocking those shots in. We had ample opportunities to perhaps score 4 and 5s, but we didn't. And we switched off on 2 vital moments. One we got away with at the end of the second half and end of the first half, sorry.
Yep.
And the other we didn't in late in the second half. So that's what we've got to do. We've got to be able to defend at every single moment, staying switched off and not giving cheap goals away, which is what we did tonight.
Yeah, look, I think, look, we won. It's 3-1.
Yeah.
And I think, look, the reason why, and I think it's coming across, maybe it's coming across that we're a little bit, it's because they did score that goal. They did score the last goal. But we're 3-1 up. We would have taken that. After the season that we've had, and after everything that's happened, we would have, these, 3-0, 3-0, 4-0 would have been better. 3-1 makes it interesting. But we should do the job in 7 days' time. Look, the link's pinned here. It's also in the community section, so it'll be interesting for you guys to come on and have your say and let us know your thoughts on the game. Because ultimately, we're all fans. We all see it in a different way. I'm sure Nathan will be in there, hoping to come on and mud Danny. Probably mud me as well. After everything. So look, the link's pinned there at the top. Come on and join us and come and have your say. And look, we'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see what the callers do. But look, I think we've done enough tonight. I'm taking it. I still think we're going. We're still going to be looking for flights. We're still going to be looking at ways to get to Bilbao. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult now that Manchester is going to be there because it's going to be a flood of English. Well, that's what we think is going to happen.
Let's think about the second leg.
Let's think about. No, I want to get excited, Iggy. I want to get excited. Let's get back to being excited because it was better than
not for
doing
me.
this.
For me, I need to focus on the second leg, and I hope you guys at home and the people who join us will see it as we need to focus on the second game. And only the second game. I don't want to hear any talk of Bilbao. I swear, I'm not going to entertain any talk of Bilbao. You can do whatever you want.
You're being miserable, mate.
I'm not being miserable.
I'm
just
not entertaining this.
Talks of the final when the semi-final is still very much to play for.
But we're in the driving seat, Iggy.
Absolutely. That I can agree with and be on board with that for sure.
Cool. Right, let's get our first caller on. It's Mark. Let's hear this and see what. I'm not really a fan of that flag in the background, if I'm honest. But we'll let him off. We'll let him off for that. But yeah, Mark, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. I think we did okay. In terms of how we could have had the result. I expected a 4-0 win. The reason why is because of how, again, Bodo Glimt has a really good track record at home.
Yep.
Now, me being also a Liga MX fan, a big player in Liga MX is Monterrey, Rayados. They have the same thing. Everybody knows that when you go to their pitch, it's completely different. Their pitch is not the best. It has issues, and it's because of the sunlight and whatnot. But in Monterrey, everybody knows you're gonna have a hard time because of the pitch. And a lot of teams lose, even the best right now, America, they tend to lose against Rayados. They're kryptonite, and for a lot of people in North America, that's that field, that stadium is their kryptonite. And I think that is a bit of a dangerous thing that we're going to be playing with now. The next game, we cannot be asleep on the wheel twice. As good as Bentancur was today, he fell asleep on the wheel twice, and we paid for it. But I would say Bentancur did a really good job. I feel like he was just as if he was playing for his nation. He was just playing, his heart out. He was playing like he meant it. And I would say for most of the season, I have not seen the desire to win. I feel like now, because it's right in front of them, they see the final right in front of them. Now they have this desire to win from the inside that we haven't been seeing all season. This true desire to win.
Yeah. So look. What does Spurs do then? Because I said to Iggy, obviously we've got the dome with the. Okay, it's not the same sort of pitch, but it's a 4G pitch. Do we put them inside there once we've recovered and worked everything out? What does that look like for this weekend's game that's coming up? Because obviously we've got another another game, and that game is West Ham, which is going to be a tough game. What do we do between now and next Thursday?
Honestly, we need to give the youngsters a chance. This is the time that we give the youngsters a chance, and we just work on getting the cohesiveness. We use the Premier League. I would say use the Premier League to get a cohesive squad. The squad that we want to put there, of course, we gotta. I would say start them, but uh, sub them out really early, just so they can have just to stay warm, and kind of bring a more cohesive nature. Because I think at the beginning, especially with our starting lineup today, I think it was a really cohesive squad. And last time I was on here, I decided that very night when I was on here last to look into what like a little bit more about what works with Ange Ball. And I forgot who was on, but it was on YouTube. And he was like a very deep tactical analysis on it. And but the issue I would say for us right now is because Ange Ball requires so much cohesiveness on the squad. The game literally lives and dies in how good and how well connected we are and the synergy of our squad. If there's no synergy or we lose that confidence, it's bad. It's gone. It's over. Um,
So I don't know.
Sorry, Mark, we
Someone
just
in the
getting some
background
feedback.
can just mute, or they're in the background and they've got the stream on as well. So I don't know who that is. If you can just mute that. Yeah, look, 100%, Mark. I mean, look, I think it's going to be interesting. Like, obviously, Maddison came off, Solanke came off, and they came off quite quickly, right? Before I think obviously whether that's a precaution rather than we were worried about what's actually happened to them, because I think in the past we'd have probably left them on, but I think look, I'm not expecting a Liverpool result next week. I think it's going to be probably a boring game, right? I think I think we'll probably see the first draw in God knows how long. On Sunday against West Ham.
Game.
Yeah.
No, I think that with the West Ham game, we're going to see a few changes for sure. Obviously, I don't see Maddison Solanke starting that game, for example. I think we'll probably do similar changes to what we saw against Liverpool. Danso Davies probably Gray will come in again.
Gray.
Spence, I could see starting in that game.
Kinski maybe. Kinski.
I don't see the goalkeeper changing, no. And perhaps on the maybe Odobert or even Kulusevski will come into the side. So I see ample changes happening for that West Ham game, because let's be honest, at this point of the season, as much as there's rivalry between the two teams, and you always want to win against them, it's in the grand scheme of things, what we have ahead of that is far more important than what precedes us this weekend. So for me, it's important that we recover well after tonight, especially the two players in question, and we go again in the second leg knowing fully well that we have 2 results out of 3 in our favour. And I do feel like if we score first, it puts even more pressure on them to score. So we are the disappointing tonight is only the goal, and in the manner that we let them score. We was 3-0 up with 5-10 minutes to go. That's the disappointment. But in the grand scheme of the whole night, it was a positive night, guys.
Yeah, 100%.
We can't let that one thing at the end of the night spoil what we did well the whole evening. So it's a good night. We have a good lead. We're still in advantage. I don't agree the game's in the balance. I think them scoring has given them a glimmer of hope, but that is a glimmer of hope. We do the job over there. We score first. 2 results out of 3 in our favour. It's in our hands, and it's only in our hands to give away.
Oh yeah.
So
it's ours to lose.
I'm happy over tonight's work. I do. I'm more concerned about the 2 injuries than I am overall them scoring that 1 goal that keeps them in the tie.
Cool. I think we're doing good so far, but as long as we just continue doing what we're doing and stay cohesive like this, we'll be fine. We'll be totally fine.
Absolutely, I agree with that, Mark. I agree with your analysis, by the way. That's why I was intently listening to what you're saying. I do agree with the synergy of the team is massively important for us. So may we take that into a difficult place, which will be on the AstroTurf in a week's time in Norway. Fingers crossed, my man.
Big up, Mark. Thanks for the call.
Thanks for coming on.
Come
Mark.
on, you
Thanks
Spurs.
you.
for the call, mate. Take care.
Cheers, man. So, Iggy, what you're saying is what I'm really getting from that is that we're going to Bilbao, mate. That's what I'm getting from what you're saying. You're saying we're not going to Bilbao, but we're going to Bilbao.
What I'm getting from that is that you're saying we're going to Bilbao. I'm saying we've got a second leg away to Norway.
But I think you're saying we're going to Bilbao,
we
Iggy.
need to respect, we need to stay focused, and
He's
we need
saying
to focus on
He's
getting the
saying
game and the tie done.
You're saying
After
it.
that, we can talk as much as you want of
I think
any
you're saying
possible talk about Bilbao. Before then, Norway first. Well, West Ham first, actually. And then Norway after that.
F West Ham, mate. F West Ham. Anyway, let's get Christian on.
Big up, Christian. Tell us your thoughts, my man.
I think you're on mute.
You're on mute, my friend. We cannot hear you.
There we go.
Better, can you hear me?
We can hear you now, my man. Tell us your thoughts, man.
All right. Well, dang, I was hoping for another one. I was hoping for 4-0. You know, before we came into this match, I was talking to one of my buddies, and I said, you know, this match is not just about winning. We have to break them. We have to break their spirits in this match. But, you know, as we started watching and, you know, as we started going, man, you know, I was real pleased. Obviously, we scored real quick. And then just the attack nature that we had the first half. I was a little disappointed in the second half. We didn't come out quite as attack driven, I felt like. Where really I felt like we had them on their heels, where, man, if we would have come out that second half, you know, knowing, hey, we need to score more goals, you know, we really could have broken their spirits. But that being said, you know, I want to say this. You know, the media loves a good story. The media, they want us to watch. So they want to tell a good story. They want to talk about the underdogs and the pitch and how, like, they're so good at home. Yeah. We are a better squad. It's so clear when you watch it. We are faster. We are stronger. And this is nothing against them. I mean, they play well together. That's their strength, is that they have real good team chemistry and they play well together. But we are faster, we are stronger, we are better on the ball. I feel like we just have better athletes. So if we go down there, you know, when we go down there here this next Thursday, no excuse. You know, we are the better players. We have the better players. I don't care what the pitch looks like. We need to go down there and win. And I'm predicting it. You know, I think we'll go down there and win. You know, I don't want to go down there and you know, just be like, oh, okay, maybe we can, you know, just don't get a draw. Let's go down there and let's go be attacking. Let's be who we are. Let's, you know, be that attacking Tottenham, and then let's go beat them down there. And I think we have the squad to do it, and I think we are going to do it.
Yeah, look, Ange Postecoglou's just come out and said it's hopefully nothing too serious when it comes to James Maddison and Dominic Solanke.
That's good.
Spurs medical room is already pretty busy, and we won't want to add to that, right? And also, Glenn Hoddle said the same as what you've said, Iggy. He said it's going to be tough over there, but he thinks Tottenham will score and that will kill the tie. We don't need to win, but I mean, I like it, like going over there to win. We don't need to win, but I think we do score over there.
I think if you can take any positives from conceding that goal at the end, if there is any positive from that, is the fact that we can go there now, focus, knowing fully well, hey, the job is not done here. We need to go out there and do it and finish this. I think maybe going there with 3-0 may have given us a different mindset. Still knowing fully well that we've got to do a job, of course, but it keeps us on our toes. That's the only good thing I can take from that. And I like the fact that we go there on our toes, knowing that we got to do the job, knowing that what Glenn says is right. We can score. We scored 3 tonight against Bodo, so we know we can score against them. And we know that we also have 2 results out of 3. Of course, you'd never play for a draw. I agree with you there, Kristen. But with 2 results out of 3 in our favour, we are in the driving seat. It's only us to give it away. They have to come and earn it.
Oh, yeah.
But we are in the driving seat at this moment in time. These are facts. I don't know if you feel the same about that, Christian.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Ange, I would make sure these players, because that's the deal. It's like you said, man. If we go down there and in the first like 10 minutes put another one in the back of the net, and then now we're up, 3.
Yeah,
man, we could take such control of this game if we go down there with the right mindset. But really, I think we have the players to do it. I was, when he, came off. I mean, I was proud of Richarlison. Playing on the winger today. I thought that I thought he put in a few good crosses. I think if we have the right mindset, we have the attacking players. That could take it to them. And I'm excited to watch the match. And I think I think that's another thing. I think it's just toxic, this attitude that the media is going to try to get in our players' head that don't mess it up, Tottenham. Don't screw it up. Oh no, don't. Yeah. We have the better squad. We go down there, and if we play our game, we have the better squad, and we will win, and we will go through to the final.
Unfortunately, Christian, we have a reputation that precedes us in screwing things up. So that's I know the media play on that, but we also put ourselves in that situation a lot of the times. But I think it's really fundamental that we recover Maddison and Solanke. Let's hope. Well, what's been said, it's nothing too serious. I think for our attack, though, it's really important that we have them available for the return leg. Of course, I don't want to look too far forward to the return leg because we have an important match to play. Not so much for the league because there's nothing else to say, but it's still a London derby that I want to honour to the best way possible, and perhaps it'll give the other lads an opportunity to have perhaps try and force their way into the team for the return leg. So they should seize the opportunity against West Ham to try and get in that team in the second leg. So much still to play for, but like I said, I'm happy overall tonight's result. Everybody was saying in the chat, a lot of people were saying they would have taken a 3-1 win. They predicted a 3-1 win, and that's exactly what we got. So I'd be happy with that.
Well, let's just beat West Ham this weekend, and then go there on Thursday and win again too. So we can do both.
Fingers crossed, my man. Fingers crossed. Thanks for coming in, my man, and chatting with us.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Christian. And who've we got here? Musings of a Football Fan. I'm sure that's not his government name, but we'll go with it. We'll see.
I've seen Bobby Zamora lookalike.
Yeah, Bobby Zamora lookalike. Yeah. We'll see.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go. How are you doing, my man?
In the most respectful way, man.
Bobby Zamora lookalike all day long. Wow.
How are you doing, my man? What are your thoughts over tonight's game? What are your feelings?
Right. I think basically, if you had told me before the start that it was going to be 3-1, I would have bitten your hand off because it's it's a European semi-final. And even if it was 2-0, I would have taken it.
Yeah.
Now, because you were 3-0 up, yes, everyone's going to say, look, we should have held on. 3-0 is better than 3-1, but it's Tottenham. Come on, we're always going to concede that one goal. But it's written. It's written. Even when it was 75, thinking, you know what? Yeah, it's 3-0, but it's Spurs. Come on, we're always open to those sort of moments where we can just let one in. But 3-1, I'll take it. I'll take it all day long. All day long.
Look, I don't know what your feelings are for this, but my taking is that those we scored the third goal, the penalty, and shortly after we had 4 substitutions with Maddison and then Solanke. I feel that those 2 substitutions kind of changed the momentum of the game a little bit. We seemed the players that came on didn't have, for me anyway, in my opinion, they didn't impact the game in the way that I would have hoped that they would. I'd hope they come on and actually literally burn in that grass on the pitch, to make an impact. I didn't see that from them, and I felt like we kind of went off a little bit from that, and that kind of allowed them to come back into it a little bit.
It did, but you got to think these guys that they've been through the ringer this season. It's not a fault of like 19 league game losses throughout the season.
Yeah,
Like, what do you expect out of that? Like,
yeah,
what really, what do you expect out of that? Like, it's gonna take its toll. And you think, yeah, those sports opportunities, yeah, let's make an impact, let's make an impact. They've been dross in the league, absolutely rubbish. Like, I've been so distraught watching them the whole season, and
yes,
like for them to come on at those points, yes, you'd like them to make an impact, and yes, maybe try and make a bit more of an effort down the wings, whatever. But like, yeah, I think more it's a switching off that bothers me. It's like we've done that all season. We always switched off. We
yeah,
haven't been there we haven't the concentration levels. It's just been atrocious. Like we have not been where we should be, where we are as a club. Like we shouldn't be sitting where we are in the league at all. And but we're in a semi-final of the Europa League, and we are on the cusp of going to the Europa League final. But we've got to take it. We've got to bite that out, bite that off.
Yeah, yeah. Got sorry.
Go on, but no. All I was going to say to that before Nick says what he wants to say. Look, we have to be positive. We have to put
100%.
the Premier League to one side, where we could have many chats about that afterwards. We only put it to no one's forgotten anything about the Premier League. We're just putting it to the side. But on tonight, we've got a great opportunity to make the final. I agree with that. We're 3-1. I think there was a lot of predictions of 3-1 even before the game started. We got a good result. We're in a driving seat. We just got to make sure we recover those two players. I think they're fundamental for our second leg. And we listen. I said it. It's been a long time, 6 years since we've been in a European semi-final. As much as the positives and negatives, you got to savor these moments because we don't come too often. And the fact that we, like you said, we're on the cusp of making a semi-final with 2 results out of 3 in our favours in the second leg. We're in a driving seat, mate. It's only for, in my opinion, it's Bodo have got nothing to lose from their point of view, but from our point of view, it's ours to give away. Only we could give it to them rather than. Do you know what I mean? I can't see them doing anything. We have to give it to them if they want to make the final.
We have to give it to them. Honestly, with everything that's going on this lower leg over there, it's a plastic pitch. Just play fucking center. Sorry swearing.
No, sorry.
Yeah. Play 7 defenders. I don't care. Just get a 0-0 draw out there. Get it done. It doesn't matter. We're like we're 2 goals up. Just people are going to say, we should be spanking them 4-0, whatever. They've shown what they can do at their own ground. They've been atrocious away. Like throughout this whole campaign, they've been bad. Like apart from United, was it a United game? They won. They lost 3-2, but they still gave United a good go, didn't they? So like even then, but like they've lost every single one they've gone away. But you can see what they've done against Lazio. Well, when they were 3-1 down like that, Lazio. They're capable of doing something. So I don't like people. If people go, we go there and it's a 0-0 draw and we get through. I don't care. People may say, we should be going there and beating them, but it's a plastic pitch, smaller ground. They're going to be at it. This is a small club with 50,000 population, and we've got more in our stadium tonight than they've got in our whole town. Like we should be beating them regardless. But that plastic pitch scares me. They need Spurs players need to be getting their Puma Kings. Getting that on, getting training with them for the next 2 weeks. Next week to get the Puma Kings on, playing the AstroTurf for the next week. And just do what you can. That's what. If I was Aaron, that's what I'd be doing. I'm going, look, get out there, get your Puma Kings on, play on that AstroTurf. Don't do anything else, because that's what we need to do over there and get used to it. Because it's going to be a challenge. But
look, 100%. I think. Look, this time 6 years ago, we lost the first leg 1-0, and then a week later, we all know what happened in Amsterdam, right, against Ajax. So for me. Go and play in that green kit
I agree.
Whatever we've had, like you said, we've had the most shocking season. Look, I think we deserve
It's
to
the worst.
be.
It's the worst I've ever seen in the whole history.
I think we deserve to be where we are because we've played the way that we've played. We're not going to sit there, I don't think there's this arrogance that we can sit and say we're Tottenham Hotspur, we should be in the top 6 challenging for trophies and Champions League and everything. We are where we are, right? The league is the barometer of how you've played over that season, right? And we've been pretty bad. But
very bad, not pretty bad, very bad.
But, very bad. But and this is where I try and that's why I'm getting a bit excited and a bit ahead of myself. We haven't had, as always, we haven't had anything to be excited about. So I'm not going to get upset anymore with fans getting excited.
No.
I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to sit here, Iggy, and say there's a second leg. We're going there.
I'm going to be positive. Let's go there. Let's do the job. Let's do it.
Yes,
let's do it. Come on.
exactly. That's what we're going to do. Yes.
On.
There we go. Big up, man. Thanks for the call. Have a good evening.
Take care.
Take care. We will do. See? Let's get excited, Iggy. Green kit, 6 years, Amsterdam. Anana's going to be in goal for United. It's a sign, mate. Come on.
Oh, Lord.
No? Okay.
Always the way.
All right, cool. So, who've we got? We got anyone else? Who've we got? Oh, here is someone in the background. Here he is. We're just queuing him up. I don't know where Sammy ran off to. What was going on, Sammy? Something going on out there? Don't know what you were doing, mate. Don't know what you were doing. Right. You ready, Sammy? Yeah. We're ready. We're ready for... He was saying big up to Brian Daigle, and it's like he's here.
Good evening, gents and everyone in the chat. How you doing?
Good evening.
Big up, Brian. How are you, man?
All good, all good. Sorry, I've had to find shelter. It is absolutely falling out of the sky here in Toronto.
Really?
Absolutely out of the sky, mate. Falling out of the sky.
Really?
But how has the watch along been? What did you guys think?
Well, we've been baking in here. Like it's been really hot today in North London. You saw the weather we'd had. Today's like we absolutely.
Yeah, you go home and it goes to 30 degrees.
Yeah, we're at the hottest day of the year over here.
Happy to have been of service.
Yeah. But mate, the floor is yours, man. What
Listen, what can I say? First of all, we all wanted a Spurs win. We got a Spurs win.
Yeah.
Very, very frustrating to concede that goal right at the death.
Yeah.
Very, very frustrating. But what I will say, listen, that first half was a very disciplined, professional performance. It weren't the greatest football.
Yeah.
Could have been bad, but you know what? 2-0 up, sailing. The football could have been bad, but it today weren't about the style of the performance. It was about getting the result. And today, we've still got a 2-goal lead. Yeah. Obviously, we'd all rather a 3 or we'd extended it. But look, there's one leg in the final, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But I'm having to spend half of the time saying, look, I'm happy with tonight's result. I don't know how many times I've got to say it, especially to a certain someone over here. I'm happy with tonight's result. I'm happy with disappointed because what happened at the end. But overall, I think it's been a good night. And that's it. My man's already talking about Bilbao. He's singing I'm loving Postecoglou instead. He's singing
I'm loving Big Ange instead.
One thing I will ask you guys, because we can hear a lot. It was absolutely rammed at the yard once again. Yeah. Those 3 substitutions, were they all precautionary, or did the commentary saying it seemed like there was some form of knocks to any of them?
Well, I mean, we can only go with what Postecoglou has said, and Postecoglou, his actual words were, I'll let Nick read it out to you.
Hopefully, nothing too serious was his words.
It leads us to think it's precautionary. Hopefully, it's just a strain and nothing more. They'll probably sit out the West Ham game over the weekend, giving them enough time to recover for the second leg. I think it's really, really important that those 2 players are there for the second leg. I wasn't impressed with the substitute. The substitute that came on. I don't think they added anything to the game. They didn't have the impact that I wanted from them. Personally, this is my point. I'm interested in what you're taking it is regarding
what I
them.
will say, what I do want to say, Iggy, first of all, I'm going to give a lot of credit to a player that a lot of us have been critical of, and I've been critical. I think Bissouma today was the Bissouma that we all know he can, which is, we all know he's got this in his locker. We all know on his day, he can literally break teams down, do it. And today he was here, there, and everywhere. He was absolutely everywhere.
He defended really well. He made a couple of 2 interventions that I was really good, happy to see. He supported all our attacks. He was given a bit more freedom with Bentancur sitting in, allowed a bit more freedom. And I think that suits his game. And I think that's all I think he's ever wanted. We've always said that. We've all said it. You've said it many a time. Many of us have said it, that he don't really get the best out of him in that 6. But tonight he was in Bergvall's role, so to speak. He showed us he hasn't got the technical ability to finish off the chances. He had a couple of opportunities to strike. We know that his shooting is not his forte. But overall, energy, interceptions, defending, tracking back, supporting the attacks, I thought he was really good. It's probably the best version we've seen of him in a long, long time.
Well, Iggy, just to go on with that, I think Ben and Simeon was saying recently, or I did it a few games ago, I think it was in his last 5 games, and I'm not including a game he's recently played. He'd been subbed off at half-time in 3 of them and taken off within the hour in the other 2. So, I mean, when we first saw the lineup, I was a bit confused by it. I didn't know if he's trying 4-4-2. I didn't know if he was going to play Richarlison on the left that he did. I was a little bit concerned about, is this the day to experiment? But he's got it right today. He's got it right. Listen, again, the most important thing about today was the result.
Yeah, I agree.
That was the most important thing.
Yeah.
I agree, and like I said, and I've said many a times, it gives us 2 results out of 3 to go and do the job in Norway in a week's time. So we're in the driving seat. The job still needs to be completed, but we're more than halfway there. I don't want to hear any talks of Bilbao like this one. I've been telling him all night. I don't want to hear any of that because we've still got a job to finish off and in Norway.
The only thing I think Nick was right. I won't talk Bilbao right now. But I think Nick was completely right. Is please God, I don't know what colour their home kit is, but please God, just wear the green kit.
Well, they'll be wearing yellow. Yellow is their home kit.
So yellow's their home kit. So and what the kit they were wearing today was their home kit as well.
Their kit they were wearing tonight is their home kit.
Okay, well let's just hope Spurs make the what's it called superstitious decision to go in the green rather than play in the white. But listen, there's not a lot more. So, I mean, the subs, like you said, Iggy, we were talking about that, and Nick, didn't have the impact you wanted them to. Yeah. But listen, 2-0 up, and it was 3-0 when they came on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from Tell, who came on at half-time.
Yeah.
They didn't do what they had to do. But again, what they had to do was stay disciplined, stay compact, stay in shape. And that's what they did. Offensively, they might not have added a lot to the game, but we weren't caught out in numbers. There weren't no players out of position and gallivanting all over the pitch everywhere. Spurs had to put in a professional performance. Spurs had to get the job done, and they've done it. And you know what? Whether we want to criticise or people want to criticise certain aspects of the game, I won't be doing that today. The main aim was to get to this final, and it's about getting the job done. And we've done. Well, we've got half the job done.
Half the job done. Yeah, exactly. Listen, this is a fair point. It's a fair point. I'll take that on board. Absolutely. No.
Yeah, look. For me,
for you,
we're getting a bit. We got to get excited because we got to get excited.
Maybe Brian will second what you're going to say.
What did the United score end?
3-0.
3-0 to them.
Okay.
My only worry, and this is my only worry, if we're talking about the final and talking about Bilbao and talking about Spurs United, is that United just know how to get a job done. They know we've beaten them 3 times this season. I don't think we beat them a 4th. I really don't. Not in a final because this is United, and I don't want to put a dampener on it because
you kind of have.
Well, I'm just trying to be realistic here because this is United, and I don't know. I just
I
want Bilbao to come back, man. I want Bilbao to come back. 3-0 extra time. Then they do them in extra time. United are crying. We're through. We face Bilbao. That's what I'd prefer.
Listen, Nick, I'm with you as well. I heard Danny Kiriaka talking about this a few weeks ago. I just think we've beaten United 3 times, and let's face it, in the grand scheme of things, they've meant nothing. They've meant absolutely nothing for league position. We got to it put us into a quarter-final of a competition that we didn't obviously win.
Yeah.
You beat a team 3 times when it hasn't really mattered. You play them a 4th. It's just sod's law, isn't it? They've won the Carabao Cup. They've won the FA Cup. So if it was a choice of the two, I would rather Bilbao. I would. But listen, let's just get to the final and then deal with that. And like we said, 1 foot is in the final. Let's just hope those injuries that Postecoglou said that are nothing serious stay that way.
How many times have we heard it's nothing serious? And I mean, if we look, let's take 2. My player of the season, not Son, and Bergvall. Son.
Yeah.
There's rumours today that he's going to be out for the rest of the season. Obviously, there's only 4 games left, so it sounds a bit dramatic, out for the rest of the season. But I'm still worried that if we get to the final and that happens, that's another Harry Kane situation.
You're looking too far ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
So what I will say, Nick,
but also with Bergvall, yes, he had a boot on, but he was on crutches as well.
What I will say with the injuries as well, Nick, is as much as we have had an injury-ravaged season, this injuries at key times hasn't been just a Postecoglou thing.
Yeah.
It's been managers for years and years and years. So as much as Postecoglou has had this injury curse, it always is a concern. But I'll never just blame that solely on Postecoglou. Trading methods for this season, maybe, but we've had an issue with injuries to key players at key times. But again, today is all about getting 1 foot in the final. Today is about winning the game. Today is about literally sitting back, going back home today or going back to work tomorrow and just knowing that we are in the driving seat.
Well, knowing we're not going to get a load of messages from all the other fans laughing at us for until Sunday, maybe.
Mate, I'll tell you another amazing thing, which we were talking about at the yard. How refreshing was it to be the scorer of an early goal, as opposed to seeing it on the other side? Mate, I couldn't believe what was going on. It was wonderful to score the early goal.
Yeah, we were kind of like, what is this? Is this the end of the game or is this the start of the game?
But no, listen, it's a day to, like we said, just sit back. We are halfway there. Let's just hope and the rest of the team could get the job over the line, and then we can start talking Bilbao.
Absolutely, Brian.
Nice one, Brian.
Big up,
Guys,
Brian.
I'll let you crack
Enjoy the rest
on.
of the evening, mate. Take
Have
care.
a nice
See you
rest of
soon,
your day.
Brad.
See you
Have
soon.
a great evening, guys.
Take care.
Bit of Bon Jovi. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear.
You need to go karaoke, mate.
What? Okay, let's move on. We have Kent.
Big up, Ken.
Big up, Kent.
Hi.
How you doing, man? Give us your thoughts
Doing
on
great.
the game.
Hmm?
Give us your thoughts on today's game.
Well, today was special because I'm a huge Spurs fan, but I'm also from Norway, so it was a special occasion for the Norwegians watching Bodo Glimt play in a semi-final. That's never happened before. So for me, I was like kind of divided. I want Spurs to win, but also it would be amazing to see Bodo Glimt in the final. But so far, Spurs are in the driving seats. But that last goal, I watched Bodo over the past years in Europe, European games, and when teams go to Aspmyra, they get battered, all of them. It's a completely different team, and people just I've heard a lot of people talk about how Bodo is not very good when they play away, and that's because they go defensive. Because they know that if they can keep the scoreline to a somewhat reasonable level, they can take them on when they come to Bodo. And I watched they interviewed the coach and some of the players, and all of them are fired up for next week, and they're going to go all in with the full team. So Spurs better watch out. It's only a 2-goal lead, and if Bodo has a good day, they can go up 3-0 in the first half. If,
yeah, we saw that, didn't we? We saw that in the Lazio game. They could have had 5-6 goals in that first leg, right? And I don't know, Ken. You're not filling me with any confidence now. I'm getting a bit worried.
Well, I been watching Spurs
Why are
this
you
season,
laughing, Iggy?
Listen, I'm not laughing. I've said it all this evening. Even when we was 1-0, 2-0, 3. I've said all evening that the game is only half done. There's no two ways about that. I don't want to hear talk about the final. I don't want to hear talk about Bilbao. I don't want to hear any of that. We will discuss that eventuality after next Thursday if we indeed make the final. Having said that, on tonight's what we saw on tonight's game is that we are in a good position. 3-1, of course, 3-0 would have been better, but 3-1 still a very good lead. It leaves Bodo with a glimmer of it leaves them attached, at least, to say that look, we can we it's one thing coming back from 3-0, one thing going in 2 goals behind. It's open for sure, but I still think Spurs have the advantage of 2 results out of 3 in their favour. That cannot be dismissed. Having said that, of course they will know fully well they cannot go to Norway to play a game of just waiting and seeing and this, that. No, you got to go and play your game, knowing fully well you have an advantage, but you got to go and score. I think for Tottenham's situation right now is they got to go over there and score, make it really difficult for the home side.
That's the key. Back. They have to score a goal because Bodo Glimt is going to draw Spurs towards their goal, and then they're going to do counters because Patrick Berg will be back next week, and he is the general of the midfield. Yeah, and he's going to be the key, and that's what Spurs have to watch out for. Is don't do too much high line, and Porro and Udogie has to watch out because when they do the counters, their fullbacks and wings go full forward, midfield, and before you know it, there's 7 players in the box, and it goes really fast. That's the thing about the pitch. The ball moves very fast on that pitch. So Spurs has to be organized. We have to be compact in the defense. Play our game, but don't get overconfident. That's the key.
I think now that I've had time to sort of digest the game a little bit, and with my thinking, letting go a little bit of the disappointment of conceding that goal, I think that conceding that goal could turn out to be a beneficial. I hope anyway. It turns out to be beneficial for the fact that it keeps our toes. It keeps Spurs on our toes. That conceding that goal, going in at 3-0, perhaps thinking that the job is done, could backfire on us. 3-1, you know that the game is still very much alive, and that could psychologically at least be a good thing for us. I hope it turns out to be a good thing on us. Of course, until next Thursday, I'm going to be a little bit, I'm going to be a little bit on edge, but let's hope we can get the job done. I don't underestimate Bodo Glimt. I never did, even before tonight. I've seen them in Europe a few times this season, and they've always come back having lost away from home. So I'm fully aware of their background, and they've been playing well in Europe for a few seasons now. So look, not done. We're in a good position, but the job still needs to be done in Norway. So I'm fully aware of that, and I'll take that on board, which is why I don't want to have any discussions of Bilbao and anything like that. I don't want to talk about the final or anything like that.
All right, you said it enough. We can talk about
good thing. And Norwegians interviewed Ant, and he was very aware of what awaits. So he has played them before, so he knows what comes.
He knows fully well what to expect. He's been there, so he knows better than me and him. So, Ken, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken. There's a lot of more people in the background. Big up to you. Yeah.
Take care. All
Come
the
on,
best.
you Spurs.
Thanks for coming
on.
You
too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, and we have Jay.
Big up, Jay.
Big up from the US, guys.
Big
Big
up,
up,
big
Jay.
up to all the USA Spurs fans. Big up. I'm assuming you're a Spurs fan, right? Of course you are.
Absolutely, yeah.
So big up to all the USA Spurs fans. Tell us your thoughts, my man.
I thought this game, in terms of Ange's tactics, I think it's one of his best this season. Just looking at it, I thought that him playing Richie on the left was actually really smart because Bodo's right back is actually very short, and he was able to get a lot of headers off, and especially the one that assisted Johnson as well.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good from him.
What else did you like about tonight's game, other than Richie on the left hand side? What did you
Also like that he had Matters tracking the holding midfielder from Bodo. I think that we were able to like keep them kind of occupied in their own half a little bit more because I believe that like he was able to get a lot more interceptions out. So that was also really good.
Given what the previous caller, Ken, the previous guest that came on, he said, this game's not done. There's going to be a lot of work to be done away from home in Norway in a week's time. And he's given us many indications, especially the midfield general they had missing tonight. He will be back for next week. How do you feel right now that the game is going to go? Do you see us finishing off the job? Or does that goal give Bodo a little bit of a chance of coming back from it?
Honestly, it's really a toss up. Honestly, I think that like I think their pitch will definitely be a deciding factor. I don't know really the specific properties of it. I don't know if it makes the ball bounce a little more, or he said that it would go faster too.
Yeah, it moves the ball faster.
I think that if Spurs really go there and we can kind of sit back a little and play more on the counter, I think we can hurt them a lot from that. It's just that we have to be a lot like very prepared because they play really fast. You saw that goal that they scored against us. It was a really fast play from the ball and we didn't react enough to it. And so I think they'll be even better at home. And I think that's just something we have to look out for. They play super, super fast.
Yeah, look, if I'm looking at, I mean, we had 24 shots and only 7 on target. I'm hoping we're not going to rue the fact that we missed our chances. But just like we've said across it, just hear Ange Postecoglou now. He's come out and said that he's got talking about Dominic Solanke. He's got really strong mindset. He's a quiet guy, but he has a real clear focus. The way he takes his penalty is indicative of the person he is. He works so hard for the team. I love that he gets the goal, a reward for the hard work he does. When you think of the goal that we conceded, that becomes more important for us. Hopefully the injury is nothing too serious. That's just the way our season is going. Nothing is straightforward. We wanted to take them off. Speaking to them both, hopefully it's nothing too serious. So again, it sounds promising.
Listen, I hope what he says actually is the reality of the story, because many times he's played the injuries down and they've actually turned out to be more serious than first feared. Son being one example, and there's been other factors like Van der Ven and so forth. So look, I'm going to take what he says for face value based on what's happened tonight, and hope that they're available for the second leg next week. I think that it's key that we have both Maddison and Solanke back for that game, for the reasons I mentioned earlier as well, with the other subs that came on. But given all things considered, we are in a very, very good position tonight to really go and take it. And
we're not going to talk about the final. We're not going to talk about Bilbao.
No. We're in a good position to go.
We are in a good position
to go and kill the game off. I respect Bodo Glimt. I do. I really do. I don't take him underhand, but we will not get another opportunity. If you think about the game right now, and given the result, and given the game next week, we will never get another opportunity like tonight than to make the final. We have to grab it. Given the shit season that we've had in the league, we have this great opportunity given to us after tonight, and we've got to make the final. With whatever happens, play ugly. Whatever you need to do, you need to go and do it. Make sure that come the final whistle of next week's game, we are where we need to be, and that's in the final. After that, we will deal with it. But right now, that's where my head is at tonight.
Just a question.
Yeah,
Just a
absolutely.
question, Jay. If we don't get through to the final, do you think Ange is sacked after the second leg? Or
Personally, I don't think he should go. I think that's just me. I know
Okay.
a lot of people, they definitely want him to go after, especially if we don't win. And even
Yeah.
if we do, I know a lot of people will want him gone.
Yeah.
But I feel like our squad hasn't been really good enough to play how he wants to, which is why I believe like a lot of the individual mistakes happen. I think it's just because the players don't fit his type of what he wants to play like. And we haven't had any good transfer windows ever since he's been here. But I think he probably just will get sacked if we lose, even if people want him to or not. I think he probably will get sacked.
But you do okay. So if we lose, he gets sacked. If he wins the competition, does he get sacked, or is he still in a job until next season?
That's a tough decision to make, I think, because again, the league has been unforgivable. We should not be 16th or whatever. We should not be there. But I think our first trophy in 16, 17 years, it's a huge achievement for any manager. So it's really a toss-up, and it really just is on what the club decides to do in the future and what, Daniel Levy's obviously thinking, because who knows what goes on in his head. But the point is, it's really just up to the club at this point. I think it's really 50-50.
Okay.
I think if he wins it, he's earned the right to stay another season at the very least, in my opinion. I haven't been his biggest fan, by the way. But if he brings a trophy that hasn't been a European trophy that hasn't been to White Hart Lane since 1984, I think he would deserve to be confirmed for next season. He may even decide to quit, win the trophy and quit anyway. He might decide to leave himself.
Yeah.
That's also a possibility that people haven't looked into. He might say, do you know what? I've not been happy with what's happened this season with whatever. Here's
These
the
fans
trophy.
are flip-flops.
Here's the trophy. I always win my second season. Goodbye. He may turn around and do that. You never know.
Yeah.
But I think if any manager wins a European trophy, despite what's happened in the league, he has the right to be confirmed for the following season.
Yeah.
After which we'll
Deal with it afterwards.
wait and see.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Jay, thanks very much for coming on, my man.
Thanks, my man. Enjoy the
Thank
rest
you,
of your
guys.
day.
Take care, buddy.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Oh no. Look who it is. It's me. It's KPV. You right, jabroni? Huh?
Hello.
I thought you were going to the game, KPV, no?
I couldn't get a ticket, man, because they were all sold. I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to, but yeah, I'm hoping to once we get the job done next week. Oh, what? What's going on?
KPV, what are your thoughts after tonight's game? How did you see the game? How do you feel about going away to Norway next? Not you personally, but how do you feel our chances going to Norway next week? Tell us your thoughts, my man.
Really, well, I'm not going to say it because I know teams who've been to Norway have got a slap, but we're 2 goals ahead, and I feel happy, but I'm not going to say confident because I know what happens. Every time we go away to other stadium, we get slapped. But we won at Old Trafford and the empty had. So, yeah, we've beaten, obviously. But I feel happy, and we need to get the job done next week. And, that's where we just need to focus on that. Forget this weekend coming. We're not going to win anyway. So, Son is not back. So, yeah, Bergval's out for the rest of the season. And, yeah, Angie's probably going to not play Matters and Solanke Sunday anyway, because they should hopefully recover for Thursday. So just rest them out, man, because we beat Frankfurt without Son and we just beaten Bodo Glimt without Son. So and Son was loving it. I've seen it on Insta and Twitter. Son loving it, so he was there. So yeah, brilliant. 3-1, and didn't like the way we conceded it because the guy who scored 2 goals against Lazio has now scored against us. So, but as Barry said earlier, 6 years ago today we lost to Ajax at home, and we won what happened a week later. So, but it's changed. We won a first leg at home at the new stadium. Finally, we did against City in the Champions League, and we still won away goals against them at the empty hat. So, yeah, but I'm delighted with the win, and I trust the boys to do it in Norway next week because, yeah, let's do this and then we can talk about the final. So, you booked the tickets for Bilbao, Barry?
No, mate.
Oh, I thought you said you did. I thought you told Ben and Tim said, I booked my tickets for Bilbao. I thought you did. No?
No. There's no tickets being booked.
Come on, Barry.
He's not
Book
flying.
your tickets, mate.
KPV. He's not planning on flying out there. He's planning to drive, or he's gonna be driving.
There's no flights left unless I want to go via
So he
3
will be.
other airports. So
He's already
Oh,
made
brilliant.
plans to go to Bilbao. So, and I'm saying to him, relax a little bit.
I have. Ben has booked his flight.
Relax a little bit.
Well, Ben and Simeone, well done. You booked your tickets. Fair enough, but brilliant win tonight, and yeah, so next Thursday, get the job done, and yeah.
Get
and
the
then
job done. I can start singing about Ange Postecoglou. I can start talking about Bilbao. Everyone else can get in the mud. We can enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
No? No.
Yeah, I'll see you soon, guys.
All right, KPV. Big
Take
up, mate.
care,
Thanks for
KPV.
your
All the
call.
best, mate.
Come on, you Spurs.
Thanks for coming on, my man. Take care.
Come on.
Right. Oh, it's so hot in here. I think that's it. That is it for the fan show. Tottenham Hotspur have won 3-1. I don't know why is there a picture of Sim on there? There should be a picture of us on the live reaction. I don't know why there's a picture of Sim. But, anyway,
fine. There's
we'll
nothing
leave
wrong
Sim
with
to
that.
it. We'll leave Sim to it. Sim is happy. It's been a great result. Disappointed to concede, but 1 foot in the final. We won't talk about the final because we're not allowed to, because if you talk about it, you're miserable.
Overall, it's been a good night. We're in a good position. The job needs to be completed now in a week's time in Norway, and that's where all the focus should be in regarding that. I do want a North London. I do want a London derby win on the weekend. I know we're going to make a lot of changes, but I think winning.
When did last Southampton and before that?
Winning against West Ham will be great. I will always enjoy a win against them.
Yeah.
And I hope to get a win against them because they're not doing brilliantly. So that's first and foremost. And then let's go and complete the job in Norway. It would be tough. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. But we can get it done. After which, and if we do get it done, then I'm with you. Then we
Good.
can start singing, but not not before then.
Okay. All right. Well, Ben and Sim will be back here tomorrow. The match day vlog will be up. There's loads of stuff that's from tonight. Tottenham fans, tonight you've done us proud.
Absolutely.
The Tifo,
Brilliant.
Arsenal fans, you watching, mate? That's how you do a Tifo.
Mate.
Yeah?
Not a little shower curtain.
Not your little shower curtain, yeah? That's how you do a Tifo. So look, like we've all said, great result. We've taken it at the start, and we need to get the job done. And this time, in 7 days' time, we'll know if we're going to Bilbao or we're going to Butlins, I guess, is probably the two things that we're going to say. So thank you very much for joining us. Iggy, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, man. You too. Big up to everyone.
Big up to everyone in the chat.
Big up for the super chats.
Big up for the super chats. Yeah, big up for the super chats.
And as always.
And always, like, subscribe and comment. As always.
Forever always.
Come on, you Spurs.